Hey, this is Jeremy Goodrich, owner of Shine Insurance and your host for the Shine Insurance YouTube channel. We're going to dig right in today to a coverage often confused. And really, if you want nothing else from this video, I'll give to you right from the start. You should have utility line coverage if you can. And I'll explain why in a second. We will address what is utility line coverage, what does it cover, and what are the options to buy it. There are really two, one much better than the other. So what is utility line coverage? Well, it is coverage for the utility lines that serve your house. I've got a little visual here. So your house has coverage under your insurance policy for pipes inside of it and siding and everything else. Your house has solid coverage based on the decision you make as far as your homeowner's insurance policy. And from the street kind of out to the rest of the world, that tends to be the responsibility of your city, your county, or whomever takes care of the streets in your area. But there are pipes in between, service lines in between your house and the street. And there's sort of a gap in coverage between them. They're not really the responsibility of the city or the county that you live in, but they're not the house either. And so your homeowner's policies can not cover them the way that you want to. So those are your utility lines or service lines. And some of those include electrical power, internet, phone, natural gas, water, sewer, and so forth. So those are the different types of utility lines that you may or may not have. Now, you may be on septic instead of sewer, or you may have a well instead of water that serves you from the city or county. So different homes have different numbers of these things, but many of these utility lines do connect you to the rest of the world and bring you a lot of the services that are there. So what is covered by utility line coverage? Well, a lot of things. Actually, it depends on the insurance company. So you should definitely review the offering that you're getting from whomever you decide to purchase from. But it tends to be fairly extensive. Things are covered in utility line coverage that is not covered inside your house. And this first one's a great example. Wear and tear can be covered in utility line coverage. This is not covered in your house. If your roof just gets old and you have to replace your roof, that is not an insurance claim. And you can check out my video on that topic if you'd like to learn more. But in utility line coverage, we can have coverage. Some companies do have coverage for wear and tear. Sometimes the weight of ice or snow could affect your utility lines and cause damage that could be covered under this. The weight of a vehicle. So sometimes vehicles come in and crush different types of service things. You would think that would not necessarily be covered, but utility line coverage tends to be fairly expansive. Rodents causing damage to your utility lines, your service lines could possibly be covered. And this one, I'm always shocked to realize this because, again, it's about that, like it comes back to that wear and tear. Tree roots ruining your system. I mean, tons, especially older sewer lines, can have leaks that happen or cracks that happen or problems that happen because of tree roots growing into that space. And a lot of utility line coverage can cover for replacing that damage. Again, feels a little bit like maintenance to me, and generally maintenance is not covered on homeowners insurance policies, but this utility line coverage does tend to expand over the usual lines of insurance and cover for some things that other things wouldn't cover for. Now, there are two ways to buy utility line coverage. The first one is from your service provider. So if you're getting water, it would be from the water company. If you have electric, it would come from the electric companies. And these service providers oftentimes send you a letter trying to sell you utility line or service line coverage. Most of the phone calls that I get from clients are when they get these letters in the mail and they say, hey, should I buy this from my service provider? So service provider is the first one. And then the second one, I'm talking about it obviously. So your homeowner's insurance policy would be the second option for utility line coverage. Now, every homeowner's insurance company does not have utility line coverage. I probably could have said that sentence better, but some insurance companies do not have utility line coverage. Most do. So check in with your insurance company to see if they offer it. So what are the pros and cons? Well, your service provider, I mean, I'm going to be a little critical here, but there's really no pros. It's incredibly expensive. It only usually covers the one service line that they're providing, so the electric or the water or whatever. And, it just doesn't really do much for you. And as much money as it costs, it's really, in my opinion, not the right way to go. This should say insurance company, not service provider. This is the second one. And with your insurance company, it is way cheaper. So a lot of them are like $15 a year or $20 a year, whereas the service provider is offering it for like $15 a month. So it's like 12 times more expensive, and it only covers one of those service things. So you're getting it for way cheaper, and it covers a lot more stuff. So in my opinion, this is a lopsided battle. Again, the insurance company is the one that you should get it from. It's just super cheap, and there's no reason to do it any different way. All right, so what did we address? Well, we talked about what is utility line coverage. What does it cover? A whole bunch of stuff that's almost more expansive than your actual homeowner's policy. And the options to buy, pretty lopsided in my opinion. Okay, if you enjoyed this video and you would like more information from us, we have created an awesome guide to homeowners insurance. It makes it very simple. It explains as much as you want to understand, but even if you don't want to dig too deep in, we have an assessment where you're like, okay, I can just take my homeowner's policy and kind of plug the stuff in, and we'll give you a sense of if you're missing things, if you want, you may want some other coverages that you don't have, and if your policy is any good or not, essentially. So if you want to get that guide to homeowners insurance, go to shineinsurance.com/homeowners insurance. That link is also in the notes below, and you can hit us up there for that guide. All right, until the next time, have a wonderful